Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About It. This is Let's Talk About It, and I am your host, Felicia Joseph, aka the Anointed Songbird, and I am so excited to be here for episode 3. That's right, 1, 2, 3, episode 3 of Let's Talk About It. I am honored to be here with you guys. I am excited to be here with you guys. And tonight's topic is one that is very, very, very dear to my heart. It's something that has concerned me. It's something that has raised concern in previous relationships, and something that my girlfriends and I, and some of my brothers in Christ and I have discussed and talked about. And that's why I decided that tonight would be a perfect platform for us to get together and talk about these things. So the topic of tonight is, for tonight is friends of the opposite sex. So what we're talking about is in a relationship with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your fiance, your husband, your wife. How do you feel about your partner having a best friend of the opposite sex that is not you? This is one of the things that we wanted to talk about. So the first thing that I ask you to do when you come on this evening, I would like for you to like and share this broadcast for me. I would appreciate if you liked and shared the broadcast so that other people, there may be people on your friends list who would be interested in hearing about this, or who have a opinion about this, because we all have opinions about this. And that's all Let's Talk About It is about. Let's Talk About It is about how we all feel. It's not saying what's right. It's not saying what's wrong. It's not here to point fingers. It's not here to say, oh, you should do it this way, or you should do it that way, or you should feel this way about it, or you should feel that way about it. That's not what we're here to do. Let's Talk About It is specifically designed so that we can talk about our differences of opinions. We're all human. We're all different. None of us have all the answers, and none of us know. You know, we're trying to find our way in this world every day, each and every one of us. So there are sometimes the point of this is I want you guys to comment. I want you guys to like, I want you guys to share, and I want you guys to comment with how you feel about the topic that we're actually discussing on this evening. So I'm pretty sure I'm not the only female or male or person who's been in a relationship that has a feeling about this topic. So I want you all in the comments. The comments are open to everyone. That's how you guys will be able to communicate with me through the comments to let me know what you think or what you guys' feelings or opinions about this topic is. All right. So let me see. I'm looking now on my Facebook side. Give me some hearts or some thumbs up if you guys are cool with that, knowing there are no right answers. There are no wrong answers. This is a no judgment zone. We're not looking at you to say, oh, you think this way or you feel this way, so you're wrong, or oh, you believe this or you believe that. So this isn't a right or wrong, because relationships are about two individuals. No two individuals think exactly alike. No two individuals are going to have the same exact reaction or response to everything. That's what makes relationships so wonderful, because there's someone else in this world that you love, you're attracted to, you get along with. That doesn't mean that they think exactly like you. That doesn't mean that every thought of yours is their thought. That doesn't mean that. It just means there's something about this individual that makes them special to you. So that's why we want to talk about it. And let me comment and say my co-host tonight, Danae, is not going to be with us tonight. And what I want to say about that is we are all children of God. So all I'm going to say is just keep Danae in prayer right now. There's nothing crazy, it's not, oh my God, drama. No, just keep him in prayer. All of you who know a word of prayer, pray for our brother and his family in this time right now. All right. So Danae will be back with us next week. I actually will not be here next week. So Danae will be rocking on his own next week. And you guys do not want to miss the topic of next week's discussion, which is unconditional love. For those of you who know, good evening, Miss Tina. Mwah, God bless you. For those of you who know Danae and follow Danae's ministry, you know that that's one of the biggest things that he discusses. That's one of the biggest things that he talks about all the time, unconditional love. So that's what the topic is going to be for next week. Now, another reminder and announcement, a big announcement actually, is the time of our show is changing. So let's talk about it. Started out as being a show that aired every Saturday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 6 p.m. Pacific Time. That is changing as of right now. Let's talk about it. From this point on, we'll air on Sunday evenings at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 3 p.m. Pacific Time. So you guys will see big announcements and flyers and posts that I will put out to let you know that our showtime is changing. So we no longer will air on Saturdays. We will now air on Sunday evenings at this exact time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard and 3 p.m. Pacific Standard. Okay, so that's one of the things I wanted to get out of the way. So let's jump right in. I don't want to have any pretenses. I don't want to waste any time. We're going to be here with you for a little bit of time on this evening. And the topic for this evening is friends of the opposite sex. So what I'm going to ask is those of you that are watching right now, hello, RJ, God bless you. Thank you so much for joining. You have been a huge supporter and I thank you and appreciate that. I don't want it to go unspoken. I want to make sure that I say that I see you and I appreciate your support. So hello, Miss Chelsea. How are you? That's my little sister, y'all. I see you too. So what I want to know is do you guys want to comment in the comment field? What do you think? Just give me a yay or nay. Give me a thumbs up. Give me an angry face. Give me something just to let me know how you guys feel about this topic. How do you guys feel about being in a relationship with someone and having that said someone have a best friend of the opposite sex that is not you? Now I'm going to give way for a little bit of delay that I know comes into the broadcast sometimes between when I ask the question and when you guys actually come back in with a response. So just type in the comments. You can say yes, you can say no, you can put a thumbs up, you can put a thumbs down. I just want to know, because that's the point of the show, to get the consensus. What do you guys think? Are you guys for it? Do you guys think that it's a cool thing? Do you guys think it's no issue with that? Or do you guys believe that there might be a little itty bitty bitty or huge problem with that? Before I go into how I think about it or how I feel about it, I want to hear what you guys think. So I'm checking the comments now. What do you guys think about that? Are you guys for it? Do you guys think it's no big deal? Or do you guys think, oh no, this is some craziness, some foolishness, I ain't even trying to hear that? I'm down for all answers and responses on this evening. What do you guys think about that? I'm gonna give you all a few minutes. Okay, so I see Ray Rose says no issue, that there's no issue with that. Okay, I respect that. And I thank you so much for putting your comments in. That's how you think. And that's acceptable. That's great. So for Mr. Ray Rose, that is no issue. Anybody else? Anybody else have a response that they want to give? Now, there are a few of you that I see that are on here that haven't given a response. They haven't given a response. And to some of you, I know, like my sister and my friends and my auntie, I see you guys on here, and I can gather what you would think. So I'm just wondering. Let's first do this. Let me first pull this up. Webster's dictionary. The dictionary defines the word best. Okay, but before I even do that, do you guys understand what the word best means? The word best is saying, because I have a problem with that with some of my girlfriends. A lot of them will say, oh, this is my best friend. Oh, and this is my other best friend. Oh, and this is my other best friend. How the word best in its definition at its core lets you know, according to the English language, that there cannot be multiple bests. Best in itself depicts one. If you are the best at something, how can you be the best and she be the best and he be the best and they be the best? That doesn't go along with the definition. Best is one. To be the best by definition means you hold that title. That's you. That's something that you and you alone do better than anybody else. So to classify or to separate someone as your best friend, that means that this is the person that you will go to. This is your person. My cousin Anise and I, we call each other, we're each other's person. So no matter how bad it is, no matter how terrible it might be, no matter how sticky the situation is, your person will go through it with you. Your person will stick right there with you. Your person will go through it and have your back no matter what the situation is. So my question is, in a relationship, should your man and or your woman not be your best friend? Should they not be your person? Is that not one of the requirements of the title? Is it not required that you are my best friend? Is it not required that no matter what I'm going through, we have that trust, we have that bond, we have that connection to one another, that no matter what it is, I can come to you. I can show you my vulnerability. I can show you my weakness. I can show you my hurt. You know me, the raw, unadulterated, uncensored, unmade up me. You know me. You know my rights. You know my wrongs. You know the things I have problems with. You know something that's going to upset me before it actually happens because you're that connected to me. So with us having that type of connection, how is there then another woman? And this is from my point of view now. How is there then another woman in your life who you're going to categorize in comparison to me as best? How do you do that? I'll wait. I have had best male friends, but it didn't work out with my male mate. There was no understanding. Exactly. Okay, Tina, and like I said, when the Lord first rolled Let's Talk About It to me, and gave me the idea to, make it an open forum for us to come and for us to talk about these things and discuss these things openly and honestly. When I first made the first flyer that told you that Danae and I were going to do this and we were going to be talking and we were going to hear his side and we were going to hear her side, I did say that we would hear things from both sides, from his side and her side. But what I neglected to say is that, yeah, there are a lot of times that he and she will disagree. But then there are a lot of times that he and she will agree, but she and he will disagree because we're all individual people. So we all have our own ways and thoughts about things. So going back to you, Miss Tina, talking about it. Yes, I understand. I can see where you did have male best friends, but how is your man supposed to understand when he is supposed to be your everything? He is supposed to be your ride or die. He is supposed to be your when there's no one else there. If you're all alone, no matter what it is, he is your all. How then is he supposed to feel with you coming to him and saying, this is my best friend? So basically that just minimalizes his role in the relationship because you had to go outside of this relationship to pick somebody else who was your best. Just think about that. Think about it. Let's just because we're trying to see both sides. So I understand. I was talking to my brother Stacy when he saw the flyer for this episode, and Stacy even said, well, what if she was like a sister that you've known your whole life and blah blah blah. Okay, and that's great. I understand those connections. I have brothers. I have many brothers that aren't my blood brothers, but they are, you know how we do. They're my brother nonetheless, because we've known each other for so long, because we built those bonds of friendships so long ago. And Tina, I see your comments. I'm gonna go back to them in a minute once I make this point. I know that you've built something. There's that love, there's that camaraderie, there's that history that you guys have shared. But when you meet that one, that absolute one for you, the one that God created just for you, the one that is going to take your hand and you're going to take his hand, you're going to intertwine and no longer be two, but become one, where your problems and your struggles become his or her problems and his or her struggles. How then is it justifiable to say that there is someone who is better at knowing you, someone who is better at consoling you, someone who is better at being there for you than this individual that you stand before God and say, I will choose you above all others? So how does a best that's not this person fit into that? And that's my argument. I mean, if it hasn't been made clear yet, I'm not for it. I'm not for it. Let me do a side note, a sidebar. Let me put a quarter in the meter and park right here for a minute. Dear future husband of Felicia Joseph, I, my darling, will be the love of your life. I, my darling, will be your everything. I, my darling, will be the sun that shines on your cloudy day. I will be the laughter that lifts you when you are down. I will be your best friend. I will be your support system. I will be your rock. I will be everything for you. And in turn, you will be everything for me. But let me just put this down in the footnotes. Your best friend, my love, my dear, my future husband, my king, my everything, your best friend, male or female, will be me, Felicia Joseph, and I will be yours. And if you have that type of relationship with someone else, if you have that bond already, why isn't that your wife? Why do you need me then? If you have somebody who's already the best, who does everything for you, why then would we say God made me for you? Why did God create me just for you if you already had somebody that was just for you? Just think about it. I cannot understand that. And I do not choose to be in a relationship where there's another woman who my husband refers to when he's speaking to me as his best anything. No, baby, I'm the best for you. I'm the best everything for you, my dear. And that's just the way I feel about it. So let's go now and see Tina's comments. And we have to be able to realize in relationships, that's what it's all about. It's about the man and the woman that are in that specific relationship. It's about those two individuals and their understanding and their connection and their relationship. Maybe there are some women who don't have a problem with having their man stand to them and tell them that this woman is better at being their friend than she is. I'm just not that woman. And my hat is off to any of you out there who could be that woman, because I'm washing your drawers. I'm washing your socks. I'm folding your stuff. I'm bearing your children. I'm wiping your tears. I'm throwing out your snot rags. I'm medicating you when you're sick. I'm rubbing you down when you're sore. I'm holding you and cuddling you on the couch for movie night. So how you then gonna tell me that there's somebody else that's better at being your friend to me? How then do you go through a trauma or a loss and you get up off the couch in my bear hug cuddle and go call Susie, who's your best friend, and leave me on the couch? How is that acceptable? I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Comments. All right. So Let's see what Miss Tina said. I didn't see a problem then, but I can see it now in hindsight. Amen. Note, though, that my best friend did for me what my mate didn't. See, now, I'm glad I read your comments, Tina. That is something that we need to talk about. See, y'all heard my dear future husband speech, right? Y'all heard my dear my king speech. You cannot as a woman or a man, because it flips both ways. You cannot as a woman or as a man leave this other individual who is your partner, who is your mate, who is your love. You can't leave them lacking and expect that someone else is not going to fill that need. And it might not be so much, and this is one of the topics that Danae and I are going to cover in future episodes. But how can you, if you know that your mate loves to talk, just loves to have let's sit down, let's just have dinner, candlelight, we just gonna chill, maybe some soft music, and we're gonna decompress together. We're just gonna get over the week. We're gonna discuss things that may have happened throughout the week that were hard for us. We're gonna discuss things that we may not have understood or could have possibly fully comprehended during the week at work, but we feel free at home to discuss these things with our love, with our person. So we can discuss these things. How is it that if we're going to sit down and if you know that this is what I like to do and this is what I need to do, and as my man, you've been doing it, or as his woman, you've been doing it, but it's just you're not really interested. That, number one, that says a lot by itself. Hold on. Y'all know I can't see. Let's see. Hey, Tabby. Thanks for joining us. But let's just say you don't care about that. I mean, how, hold on. Sean Ray is saying something. And hi, my sister, how you doing? Being married for over 25 years, I've learned and seen marriages torn apart from spouses having the opposite sex best friends. The danger in having the opposite sex as a best friend is that when things get a little rocky in their marriage, they will almost always confide. Yes, they will almost always confide in them, which can easily turn into a soothing sexual type of affair. It is wrong on all sides to confide in the opposite sex concerning your spouse. Absolutely, 199.999%. I agree. Amen, Sean Ray. That's my sis, y'all. And all y'all who know about Testify Tuesday, y'all tune in April. She's going to come on and join us on Testify Tuesday. But that's what I mean. How having the opposite sex as a best friend, just think about, just with same sex, if your man has a best friend, he has his boy, he has his ace, and they discuss everything. When you and him are having a disagreement, or you and him are having some sort of tiff, or you and him might be going through something, you already know that the best friend, the ace, knows about it. You already know that he confides in him. You already knows he goes to him and is like, because when he leaves the house, he's like, yeah, I can't take this. I'm gonna go chill with Ron or whatever, Rodney or whatever his name is. I'm gonna go chill with my boy. That's all right. When that best friend is Janice or Jane or Leslie or Trish or Terry, or, when that best friend is a female, number one, the fact that you guys are already going through something, I don't care how strong, independent, what's the other thing? Secure this woman is, she's going to have a problem knowing that in the middle of her and her man, or he's going to have a problem knowing in the middle of him and his woman having a disagreement, having a fight, having some type of discord, that you're going to leave the house and say, I can't deal with you right now. I'm gonna go chill with my opposite sex best friend. How in the world? In what? I don't understand how can you be all right? How can you not see it as a violation that you are talking about sensitive relationship problems and issues and complaining basically about your significant other to someone of the opposite sex? How is that right? I just want to know, how do you feel? If we're supposed to talk it out, we're supposed to talk it out ourselves. But you're going to leave in the middle of the problem, in the middle of the stress, in the middle of the rockiness, in the middle of the turmoil, and leave and go to your best friend who just happens to be the opposite sex and talk to her about stuff that you can't stay in this house and talk to me about. How is that okay? All right, Ray Rose, I see you. Hold on a minute. Y'all know I don't say I'm getting old no more. I say I'm aging like fine wine, y'all. I'm aging like fine wine. All right, so Ray Rose says, to me, it's not saying the friend is better than your mate, but the friend is unique and has gone through some things. My mate is my mate. Nothing should change that. My mate is someone I'm with for life. Nothing can come between that. Okay. You know, and like I said, we appreciate everybody's thoughts because we're all different. But what I'm asking, and maybe if your mate, Ray, doesn't have a problem with you having a female best friend, if your mate doesn't have a problem with that, and you really know that there is no question whatsoever that there may be some type of issues between y'all because of this, then I'm happy for you, more power to you. And that's what works for you. And so that means that, you know, all of the instances and things that we're talking about during this episode doesn't concern you guys because you guys don't struggle from that, or that's not a problem that you guys have. But there are a lot of us that can't say that. There really are a lot of us that cannot say that. Sean Ray says, people are always, okay, hold on, let me get this open. Age like fine wine again, people. People are always vulnerable when they are at odds with their spouse, and having the opposite sex best friend opens the door almost always is the easy way into an affair. Absolutely, because you have to think about it. Best friend, you guys love each other. This woman loves you. This man loves you. Whether this is because this isn't a just one-sided thing. It's the truth. So there are already feelings there. There are already emotions there. And you never know. 9 times out of 10, this woman is pining away for this married man, waiting for him to realize, oh, he made a mistake marrying this woman. I've been his best friend for years. Just look at it. All the movies that are out, all the things that are out right now, there's always a best friend who feels jilted when the man that they've loved for years goes out and marries somebody else. And as soon as this new woman, whoever the wife is, and the man have a problem, and we always say, oh, that's just the movies, but these things come from real life. Where do you think these authors and these writers get this stuff from? Art imitates real life. You know, I know they say life imitates art, but it's the other way around too. So it's always there. And if you love this man, if you've gone through with this man, if you've been pining after this man or this woman, where it's both ways, for years, you're just waiting for that moment, for that break, for that little bit of space for you to slide in. And now before you know it, y'all are both in some emotional problem that could have been avoided if he would have just stayed home and took care of it with his wife, or she would have just stayed home and took care of it with her husband. So hold on, let me see. Truth be told, the conversation should only be mate to mate. Exactly, Ray. And that's all I'm saying. And that's probably why your best friend of the opposite sex isn't a problem in your relationship, because you know how to keep your relationship, and you don't run to the best friend. And that makes you a very unusual, but good, this not in a bad way, circumstance. You are the exception to the rule of most, and that's awesome. But I'm glad that you can understand where we're coming from, and we're actually talking about those who don't have it as together as you, because there are a lot of relationships that split all the way up over stuff like this. hold on, Sean Ray. I have friends, hold on. I have friends with BFFs who are in marriage, effeminate BFFs thinking that these husbands wouldn't suspect anything, but a man is a man is a man. Honey, that's right. That's right. You are absolutely right. So my consensus is, and look, because we can go back and forth and we can toggle this out. We can argue about this, but the truth and the most simplistic conclusion for this is it depends on your relationship. Some women, and let me just put that out there again, dear future king, dear future husband, mwah, I love you to pieces. I will love you from the top of your head to the tip bottom of your toenail. I will love everything about you, right, wrong, anything. But I am not the type of woman that can deal with you having a best female friend that is not me. That's just not. Now, if we have a mutual friend, that's different. But you can't just bring a woman in, oh, this is my best friend. Oh, no, it ain't. No, sir. No, sir, it is not. And if it has to continue being that, then I'm going to pack up my bric-a-brac, put it on my shoulder like Bugs Bunny, and trick trail on out there. I'm not doing it. Because I know what I need for my own peace of mind to be healthy and to be, successful in a relationship. I'm going to be no good to you as a woman if my mind is always concerned about what they talking about. What he tell her that he didn't tell me. And it's what it is. It could be because of hurts in my relationships in my past. It could be from situations. And you to watch that too, unfortunately. Sean Ray, what you mean, baby? And explain it to me again, sis, so I can and are you saying I need to watch that? I can say that. I can agree with that. I'm not perfect. None of us are. We all have our thing, but I'm gonna need for me to have a successful relationship, my man is going to have to realize me for who I am, love me where I am for who I am, and understand that a female best friend is just not something that's going to work for me. And I don't believe that the one for me, that God is going to make a man that's designed specifically for me that has a female best friend, because God knows I don't work like that. Oh, yes. Yes, I understand, Sean Ray. And you're right. You're right. Especially in the day and age that we're living in today, because that's actually one of our topics that are going to be coming up on the next show. Because that's a problem too. That can easily snowball into that mutual best friend being more than a best friend to both of you, the opposite sex and the same sex. That's just the world that we're living in today. So that's just what I wanted to say about it. So that's how I feel. I thank Sean Ray, my sis, for sharing how she felt. I thank Ray Rose, for sharing how he felt, and Miss Tina for sharing how she felt, and all of you who have come on. Feel free to like and share this. Keep it going and let your friends know. If you share it, put in the comments. It doesn't matter that the show is over. It doesn't matter that they didn't share live. At any time, they can put in their comments, because I'll always be alerted, because I am truly interested in what you guys have to say and how you guys feel about this. Now, on Let's Talk About It, we are going to tackle all sorts of relationship situations, issues, problems, things that come up. We're going to talk about it all. There is nothing that is taboo. There is nothing that is off limits. There is nothing that we won't discuss and just see how people feel. Because how will we know? A lot of times us girls will talk to our girlfriends about stuff because we don't feel comfortable enough to talk to our man about it, because we don't want to argue about it. Same thing with men. But Let's Talk About It is just a place and a platform for us all to come and talk and feel how we feel and express how we feel. So this is to help ultimately, the whole point of this is to help somebody, anybody, as many bodies as we can. I don't have a mate, but if she felt that way, I will give to her wishes. That's awesome. That's amazing. My husband and I, that was Ray Rose who said that. And Sean Ray, my husband and I both had a childhood mutual friend, a male, and we didn't hang out regularly, but I noticed when he came around, he was trying my loyalty to my, yeah. And that's what I mean. When you have a friend, you never know. Some of us, the way we look at a relationship and the way that the other person in the relationship looks at it may not always be the same. I've had those relationships where I've been looking at these people as my genuine friends, like my sisters or my brothers, but they were looking at me like I was ribs on the barbecue on the 4th of July. I had no idea, because that's not where my mindset was. That wasn't what I was thinking about. But the way I look at it and the way they looked at it was two different ways. But when they made that known to me, then it was on me to put them in their place, see if it could be rectified. And if it couldn't, if I was in a relationship, no, baby, no. This is where my loyalties lie. This is where my heart is. This is my desire. He is my desire. And I'm not going to allow you and your feelings to come in between that. I shared this with my husband and we severed that mutual friendship. Amen. You have to, and that's probably just one of the many reasons you've been married 25 plus years, Sean Ray. And that's awesome. That's amazing. That's what it's all about. It's about compromise. It's about seeing situations from the whole, not just your side or her side, but the whole, how it affects the unit, which is why what Ray Rose said was true. When he doesn't have a mate right now, but when he does have a mate, if she feels, if I'm not down for this, then if you love her enough, you want her to be comfortable. Who can say they love somebody but wants this person to live in a situation that is very uncomfortable for them? You guys know how it feels to be in a situation where you're uncomfortable. Who wants to live like that? And if you truly love somebody, do you want them to live like that? So that's all I had for this evening, guys. I just wanted to talk about it and hear what you guys had to say about it. If you are going through this, if you didn't comment tonight, but this is something that you're going through, I implore you, please talk it out. Let your spouse or your significant other know how you feel, because you can never be justified in ending or walking away or saying it didn't work if you didn't tell them how you felt, if you didn't speak up on how the situation was affecting you and actually give them a chance to discuss it with you for you guys to come to some mutual agreement. So I implore you, talk about it, bring it up, put it on the table, lay your cards out and see what happens. All right. Thank you, Sean Ray. God bless you. God bless you. So that's it for this episode of Let's Talk About It. I am your host, Felicia Joseph, aka the Anointed Songbird. Join us next week when my co-host, Danae Young, will be here with you guys. Next week, I'm shooting my music video. So I will be a busy little bee. So Danae will be here on his own. And the topic for next week is unconditional love. All right. So join us back next week, Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Time, for Let's Talk About It, when the topic will be unconditional love. God bless you all, and thank you all for joining me. Remember, be intentional in your relationships. Be intentional with your partners. Be intentional and love wholeheartedly and unconditionally. God bless you all.